Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today for our final workshop, Making Fasting a Rhythm That You Can Keep. Now, as always, if you can please type in the chat box that you can see me, you can hear me. I did a workshop once and people see me, but they couldn't hear me, and I talked for 20 minutes and then I had to re-record it, which absolutely killed me. So if you can just type in the chat box. I also would love you to type in the chat box, what have been your biggest insights so far over the past couple of days? What have been what's really hit you the most? So before we get started in today's content, I just wanted to share with you what are some of the symptoms that you can expect from implementing a fasting lifestyle. So definitely, as I said, fasting isn't for everyone. So if I can just have someone to type in the chat box, because I can see people are listening. So fasting is not going to cure all of your midlife symptoms, but it is a fantastic tool to have in our toolbox. And it really does work. And as you heard yesterday about the fasting at the different lengths and the healing benefits to the body, absolutely mind-blowing. So weight management becomes easier without obsessing over exercise. This was a big one for me because I used to exercise to manage my weight and to keep my weight down. I always obsessed over that. And so now that I have fasting as my tool to do that, and it's way more effective than exercise. Exercise is still a massive part of my day, but it's more for my mental well-being and my muscle strength. And so that's why I do it. It doesn't even come into it about the my weight, because I know that fasting is doing that. Hot flushes, night sweats can reduce or disappear. You can have your motivation increases, especially when you know that it's working, especially when you get into tracking your numbers and measuring your ketones and your blood sugars. That is really, really motivating. I hear a lot of the girls in my membership talk about how much their confidence has improved because they're feeling so much better about themselves, they're eating so much more nutritiously, they've got so much more energy. It can be easier to build muscle and strength, so that's a biggie. Strange fat deposits like the belly fat, and you know the weight that around your bra strap, I can't remember what Dr. Libby calls that. But that can start reducing. So getting rid of fat in weird places really helps, and overall hormonal balance feels better as well. Great, I've got some people. Thanks very much, Kimberly. So if you just joined me, type in the chat box and tell me what have been your biggest insights so far. So today I'm talking about exercise and fasting. I'm talking about what you can do when you come up against the mental barriers, and believe me, there are going to be mental barriers. There probably haven't been this week because we've been doing it as a community and it's new and it's exciting and you're like, oh, this is easy. But honestly, it does come up. HRT, I'm just going to briefly talk on that. 4 crucial mistakes that I see women make with fasting, and then if you've loved what you've experienced over the past few days and you want more, what that can look like for you. So exercise and fasting. So I get asked this question all the time, and you can definitely exercise when you with your fasting routine. So people say, I don't want to fast, or I can't fast because I exercise. I exercise a lot. Like I exercise 6 times a week. And so I work in my fasting schedule with my exercise. So for example, this morning, I'm a first thing in the morning exerciser. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen at all. So this morning I do strength training twice a week. And I don't eat before I go. That is something you need to work out for yourself, whether it works for you to be eating before you go for exercise. I go sometimes I go at 5:30 in the morning and I'm not going to eat before I go. But what I do is I always break my fast when I come back with protein. And that is because I want to build muscle. And so protein, exercise, strength training can reduce muscle, but you need to build it back up. So I always make sure that I build muscle. And then if I'm wanting to do like a 24-hour fast, I start that after my workout, and I'll go through till 24 hours. Okay. Oh, but often, like at the moment, and I'm going to talk to you about my community and about my membership, we've got a group fast that is just starting tonight. So generally we start tonight after dinner and we'll go through for 24 hours. But you can work it completely to what works in with your schedule. And you might want to skip dinner a couple of days a week. I don't want you to, if dinner, I think I've talked about it before, if dinner is your social time, then I don't want you to be skipping that too often. But if you're doing a longer fast and you skip dinner, still sit down with your family, have your cup of tea, have a cup of bone broth, still get that oxytocin hit, but you're still fasting, and that's how you build it in with your fasting lifestyle. So exercise, absolutely. Break your fast after you come back if you're doing strength training. If I'm just going out for a walk, I don't, that's not enough for me to needing to eat afterwards. If I'm going to tennis, if I'm playing a full day of tennis or a full morning, I will eat before I go. However, if I'm just going to tennis coaching and it's only an hour, then I won't. So I completely tailor it to what I'm doing around my exercise. So hopefully that helps. That's exercise and fasting. So what to do when you come up against mental barriers, and as I said, you definitely will. This week it's probably been like really exciting, and you've like, oh, this is actually really easy. Sometimes you can fast, it's easy. Other times you can fast and it's so hard and you're like, what on earth is going on here? As I said in the first session, we have not had the opportunity, because this has just been basics, fasting for basics, to go into fasting for the different age and stages of midlife. So if what Dr. Mindy has developed and what I teach in my membership is a fasting cycle, and if you are still get a regular cycle, there's a 30-day fasting cycle that you can follow to honor your different hormones at the different stages of your cycle. If you are perimenopausal and you have an irregular cycle, you can follow your symptoms, or you can follow the moon cycle and do that 30-day cycle. If you have got, if you are postmenopausal, it's actually a lot easier to fast, and you can do it on a weekly cycle. As I say, I'm going to share more about that at the end. So if you get to a stage where it's harder, you might find that that is a stage in your cycle when you're actually not meant to be fasting, and that's what your body doesn't want. And so it's actually listening to your body and listening to the cues that really make the difference. You might have thoughts, I can't do this. I really need food. As I said to myself like 5 years ago, there's no way I could fast. But reframing that, now that you know the science, now that you know the research, and you know how beneficial it is, you know that the hunger will pass, that things will get easier, and the longer that you fast, the more you get into your fasting rhythm, that the easier it will get, and you'll have more of that willpower to push through. And I shared in other videos, you know, a fasted snack if you need to tap into that. Reframe it. The thoughts are normal. Your brain is rewiring from being a sugar burner to a fat burner. If you've never taken food out of the equation, it's in shock. So that is okay. Just take it super slowly. Keep hydrated, stay busy, and use distractions. So go for a walk when you might normally have lunch. Go for a walk. Call a friend, listen to music, watch a movie if it's in the evening and you've got that time. And just know that it does absolutely pass. Okay? Emotional associations with food. So many of these. So food is very much attached to boredom, to it's just a habit, or it is comfort eating. So many people comfort eat. And so it's finding something else that you can replace that. Like often you can just go down to the kitchen when you're not actually hungry, but it's just time. It's time to eat in your head. It's time in the day to eat. But actually asking yourself, are you actually hungry? So replace it with tea, with water, with deep breathing. As I said, calling a friend, tapping into a community that you might be part of, that really, really helps. Write down your wins in your companion guide. Use that, because tracking your wins is massive in terms of knowing what your progress is. And journaling what you're grateful for is a really good one. I journal every single morning what I'm grateful for, and that just keeps me, and I do a meditation as well, and that starts my day in a positive mindset. Then the last one for the mindset is setting yourself up for success. If you are someone who is triggered by emotionally or just your environment, set your environment up for success. Remove foods. If you've got foods in the house and you haven't got any willpower, until you build that willpower, get them out of the house. Or have alternatives for you. Like, there's always chips in our house. There's always chocolate. I buy good quality chocolate. I make my own crackers, and I've always got hummus in the fridge, so that if my husband or the kids are having something and I want to have something as well, but I don't want to eat what they're eating, I set myself up for success. And the other thing is to join a community where they've already achieved what you want to achieve. And as I said, I'm going to talk about this, because this makes it so much easier when you are part of a community who are already doing what you want. And if you've got naysayers in your life, then that makes it really hard. So tapping into a community is even more essential. So 4 crucial mistakes. So first I'll just talk about HRT. So HRT, just very quickly, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but HRT definitely helps. So I am on HRT, but I did the lifestyle changes first. HRT is not a slap on a patch, take a pill, I'm done, that's all I need to do. It is still absolutely essential to do lifestyle changes that we have been talking about this week, because then it is going to be more effective for HRT. But there are also, if you're not on HRT and you are still you're getting some symptoms, implementing what we have been talking about this week is absolutely going to help. So you want to address your sleep, you want to address your food that you're eating, you're wanting to control your blood sugars, you're wanting to become more insulin sensitive rather than resistant, you're wanting to lower your stress, eat lower carb. There's so many things that we can be doing for our lifestyle, and then HRT can be used as the top up, but not the total band-aid. So hopefully that makes sense. And then lastly, 4 crucial mistakes that I see women make with fasting. So the first one, and this has come up quite a bit in the Facebook group, is that women fast the same either every single day or every single week, and they don't vary their fasting lengths. Our body, it's like when you go to the gym, you keep doing the same thing for 6 months to a year and you stop getting the results. You need to change things up to keep the body guessing. It's the same with fasting. As I mentioned, there is a 30-day fasting reset. So that actually gives you the 30 days, or you tailor it to what your your cycle length is. And it's varying it according to your hormones. If you're doing a weekly cycle, then you also vary it according to your hormones, or to which stage you're at in midlife. So doing the same things every single week, you might get results, and then eventually you might stop getting them, and that's because your body has worked out what it's doing. It needs to be kept guessing. And it also, if you are fasting at the wrong time, then it spikes cortisol, which we so don't want to do, because cortisol is obviously connected to stress and raises the stress in the body. Fasting causes a cortisol spike. So you need to be doing it at the right times of your cycle or of your stages of life. Breaking your fast with the wrong meal, we've talked about this very, very strongly. It will not undo the undo the results that you've already got from your fast, but it won't prolong it. So if you do a fast and then you go for and go and have a McDonald's meal or a fast food, that will absolutely, you'll stop in your tracks because you've got that inflammation, the inflammatory foods that are going into the body. Whereas if you break your fast like I've taught you on this, you're going to prolong the results, which is obviously what we want to do. But if you are someone who eats a lot of processed foods, it's going to take time for you to just build that muscle to make different choices. But just know that you can change your taste buds, and you can change your choices. Not eating enough protein in your eating window. This is a biggie. And so a big thing is that some women will fast, and then when they're eating, they'll do like not eat much as well, because they'll think that that's what's going to help them lose the weight. I eat a lot. I eat a lot, but I eat really nutritiously, and I eat really balanced. And that is what allows me to maintain muscle, maintain my weight, maintain my energy, sleeping really well. And so I really prioritize protein, and that is hugely important, that we have talked about. And the last one is trying to do it on your own. And you can do it, you do it for a few days and you think, this is easy. This is totally easy. I can totally do this on my own. When it gets hard, and when you've got the naysayers in your life, that's when it falls down, and then you go back to your old ways. So that's where I really encourage you to find a community of women who are already doing what you're doing, because not only is it going to fast track your progress, but it's going to boost that oxytocin that we've learned that declines when estrogen declines. And so oxytocin is really a lot harder to find, and you've got to actually proactively find ways to get oxytocin. And so that's what brings me on to my next bit of information, is that if you have loved what you've experienced this week, if you've loved the community, you've loved the leadership, you've loved the education, you've loved the learning, I want to invite you to come and join us in the Wicked Healthy Tribe. That is my online community membership that I've had for about 10 years now, and it's very much developed and morphed and grown as I have gone through my stages of life. I've never ever claimed that I am the expert. It's always been about my journey, and come and share it with me. And now that I am a certified Fast Like a Girl coach under Dr. Mindy Powell's, I have the tools, I have the experience, I have the knowledge that I'm able to then pass on to you. And it's always evolving and growing, which I'm always sharing with the girls in my membership. So what it looks like is, I'm just going to briefly talk about it, what else is coming up, and then you can make the educated decision for yourself. So I have recorded a series of videos that I've broken down into different modules, so that you can, when you come into the membership, you can learn about metabolic health, you can learn about how to fast like a girl, how to eat like a girl, how to metabolically switch. It's all broken down into very short and succinct videos that you can just watch in your own time. And there's worksheets, there's checklists, there is so much information to build your knowledge on top of what we've already done this week. And you can totally do it at your own pace. It comes on an app on your phone through a platform called Kajabi, and that just makes it easy to access when you are out walking, or when you're at the gym, or you might be driving and you're listening to information. As we know, knowledge is absolutely power. There is also a recipe vault. I am incredibly passionate about healthy food. That is where this all started. And there's a recipe vault of over 500 recipes that are designed to support your hormones, and to support breaking your fast, and to support nourishing recipes in your eating window. Low carb, it's all in there. All the hard work is done for you, and you just need to make the decision that this is kind of the next step that you want to make. But it fast tracks your progress. The other thing is there's an exercise vault, so there's over 100 exercises that you can do from home. The community is the glue that holds us all together, that holds it together. It is an incredible community of women who are on their own journey but supporting each other, and they share the good and they share the bad. And when they're having a tough day, they just post in the group. When they've made something delicious, they post in the group. It increases motivation, improves your confidence. It just extends what you want to achieve yourself and how other women are actually already achieving it. So just a couple of things that I wanted to share with you. You can, for the first 10 women who join on the annual membership, you will get a bonus one-on-one 40-minute session with me, and that is to fast track your progress even further. We will jump onto Zoom, we will talk about where you're at, and we'll create a tailored plan specifically for you. You can join on a membership of $27 a month, or you can join on the annual for $269 for the year. This is the last time that you're going to be able to join at these prices, because after this I'm going to be putting my prices up, because there is just so much value in there, and I know that it is absolutely life-changing. So first 10 women who join will get a bonus one-on-one session with me. Other bonuses for everyone who joins: on the 10th of February, I am going to do, what have I called it? I have called it, it's over the page, behind the scenes of my fasting lifestyle. Don't know why I couldn't remember that. But I'm just going to jump onto a Zoom and talk to you exactly how I do my lifestyle. And it's a Q&A. I've never done this before, but you can ask me any questions that you want to know about the way that I do it, and it'll give you a guideline. I've got a written guideline already in there, but this is just getting into the nitty-gritty of exactly, because people have said to me, I just want to know exactly how you do it. And so that's what I thought was a great bonus to include. And then also in February, we're doing a 5-day carnivore reset. You may have heard about the carnivore diet and how effective it is for weight loss. It's also super effective for inflammation and cleaning up the gut. It is effective for lowering insulin, which is obviously so important, and changing your relationship with food over the long term. And so in February, from the 16th to the 20th of Feb, we're doing a 5-day carnivore reset, and I'll give you all the framework. We're going to combine it with fasting, and it is an incredible, I actually haven't done it before. I've worked it through with a client. It's something that I've been really wanting to do in the tribe. And as I say, in the tribe, we just do things together. And I lead it, I give you the guidelines, I give you the framework, and we do it together. So if that appeals to you, come and join us. The link is wickedwellbeing.com/membership. I will post it in the comments box below so that you can go and have a look. And as I said, this is the last time that you will be able to join on these membership prices. I just was looking at the time. I felt like we've been going on for a wee while, but it's 23 minutes, which is great. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking part, for being vulnerable, for being open to learning something new. And as I said, if you want to fast track your progress, if you want to join a community who are already doing what you want to achieve, and you want to boost that oxytocin and have someone else have done the hard work for you, come and join us in the Wicked Healthy Tribe. wickedwellbeing.com/membership, where all the details are. All right, thank you again, and I will look forward to reading your comments. Let me know what has been the biggest impact for you over these past 3 workshop series. All right, see you later. Bye.